um, Case Studies Visitor Center. So we are here comparing the British Museum Visitor Center with Bagh-E-Babur Visitor Center. So the cultural differences between the visitor centers of British Museum and Bagh-E-Babur reflects their distinct cultural context. So first, their design, the British Museum design is modern and sleek, and their cultural focuses on some globally, like it's not local. And their experience, we can say that it's highly interactive with digital displays. But in Bagh-E-Babur Visitor Center, their design is traditional and modest, and their culture focus on Afghan heritage, highlighting local histories. And okay, so just wait a second. Mm. Okay, so before focusing on Humayun's tomb, I'm gonna add something else because the information was in a huge volume, so we didn't add lots of it. We just summarize it. Okay, so some positive aspects of the British Museum Visitor Center that could be applied to Bagh-E-Babur Visitor Center in Kabul is modern accessibility, interactive technology, clear navigations, multi-language services. As we said that British Museum Visitor Center has so many languages that people from diverse background and from all over the world can have access to it, and it's also the sustainability. And also, we have compared some positive aspects of the British Museum Visitor Center floor design that could be added to Bagh-E-Babur Visitor Center floor plan, including durable materials like use of high quality stones or polished surfaces that are durable and easy to maintain, is suitable for high foot traffic, and also non-slip finishes like incorporating non-slip flooring for safety, especially in areas that may get wet from gardening surroundings, and also a clear zoning, like designing the floor layout to clearly define spaces that, for example, exhibition, rest areas for better visitor floor and organization. And also, there are some positive aspects of British Museum Visitor Center building design that could be added to Bagh-E-Babur Visitor Center in Kabul, including natural lighting, like through skylights or large windows, open, suspicious layout for better visitor flow, modern amenities like climate control and seating areas, also sustainable design like using eco-friendly materials. So these were some features that can improve visitor comfort while preserving Bagh-E-Babur cultural character. And also, there are some positive aspects of other, like British Museum has so many positive aspects, but we have included some of them in here. So we have said about the floor plan design. We have also said about the building design and the material difference between the Bagh-E-Babur and British Museum Visitor Centers. That in British Museum Visitor Center, the materials are modern materials like glass, steel, and Portland stone. But in Bagh-E-Babur, the materials are traditional, locally sourced material like brick, stone, and wood, reflecting the historical and cultural context of the site. So, often blending with the surrounding gardening environment. So, in short, the British Museum uses modern industrial material while Bagh-E-Babur uses more traditional, locally sourced materials. So, in here we said some positive aspect that a British Museum had. So in general, we can say that British Museum Visitor Center has a lot of positive aspects that can be added to Bagh-E-Babur Visitor Center. but we only mentioned some of them. So here is another visitor center that we compared to Bagh-E-Babur, which was culturally and historically so much similar to Bagh-E-Babur Visitor Center. It is Humayun's Tomb Visitor Center. And I think, sir, we have passed the slide, so it's okay. It's Humayun Tomb Visitor Center and Delhi, India. So
It's not here. So I think we should let's pare it down a little bit and let's get to the next issue of programming. I
okay,
think
so I just said some main points of and compared the British Museum Visitor Center to the Bagh-E-Babur Visitor Center, and which positive aspects and which positive points or plus points we can add to our project, and
good,
about building design, about plan design, and about materials. So yes, I think I mentioned the main points.
good. Thank you.
So the areas. So I added descriptions and requirements to the sites. I analyzed every site. Here is the first zone is information or registration desk. First, let me explain the colors. The light green color shows the areas that I changed the area because I had some reason for that. I enlarged the areas or I decreased some area. And the darker green color shows the determined area that I added the dimensions or the area for that. So the first one is information registration desk. I didn't change the area; it's 40 square meters, but I divided it to some parts. I want to say the requirements of the site. It is the 10 square meters is a desk for two staff that would work there, because we need to staff there. As professor said that there might be 150 up to 200 people per day. So I divided that. I took an average of 175, and I divided them in two shifts of morning shift and evening shifts. At a time there might be 77 or 75 people. So we need a desk with two staff with 10 square meters. And also 20 square meters area for people to stand and wait until their progress or their registration is done. And the other 10 square meters would be a waiting area for people. They can sit a bench with a bench or and a water cooler. So the other thing is a self-help information area, which the description for that is there might be maps, guidance, and there will be some brochures that explains the laws or the events of this area. And it was previously it was 10 square meters, but I decreased it to 8 square meters because it's proper for people, 4 to 5 people standing, or if they want to sit, we add a bench, three people can use that area. There would be just a wall with screen and posters, and also a table or stand for brochures. And the other thing is the souvenir shop. I divided it in three parts. First thing is the souvenir or handicraft area, which the 20 square meters. There might be displays, shelves, and also some gifts that people can buy and that represent the culture of Afghanistan. The other area is the kitchen and restaurant area. I mean, the cooking area with 8 square meters is a good area for storage of the food, and also food preparation area. The other thing is, and 12 square meters would be a dining area. So the total area of the but now I decrease it to 50 20.4 square meters, because there might be, as I said, there might be 88 people at a time. So as it's we should provide storage or lockers for at least 20% of the people, which is 70 people. For 70 people, the 20.4 square meters would be a good area, to make them have access to the lockers, and also a small changing area, and space to move. The fifth number is the refreshment bar and the storage, which is a place for drinks and snacks. As the area is so tight, it would be 50 square meters. So it should be self-service, as it's I know it's really hard in Afghanistan, but we will try our best. And I want it to be a self-service. If it's not self-service, the area would change to 20 square meters. If it's self-service, the 20 square meters would be for counter stations, and also would be a good place for movements. But there won't be any area for dining. They can get their snacks and drinks and go to the green areas or other areas. We have restrooms and waiting areas all over our visitor center. But if we don't make it self-service, the area should be larger to 20 square meters. But at all, we will have 3 square meters for storage of the snacks and also the drinks. The sixth number is library. I didn't change the library dimensions. It's 30 square meters. It's very good dimensions for bookshelves and also reading area. There might be also workstations. It's really it's a really good area and dimensions for a visitor center. There might be maps, also like printed maps, audios, visuals, and everything to guide people. And the other things, the orientation room, that I wanted to be like a class. There might be trainings and introduction to the site, to Bagh-E-Babur, and to our history. And the area is might be 40 to 50 square meters, but I choose the smallest number, and the 40 square meters, so I didn't brought changes to the area. It's a good area for 20 to 25 people with simple seating, but if we use seatings with desks, there 10 to 20 people would fit there. The number eight is service and maintenance area. 4 square meters is a good area to have shelves. Even a small sink can fit there. The public and rest and relaxation area is a place where people can sit after walking or after a long, tiring day. Been there in a visitor center, and also they can sit there, wait for others. So we will provide there a good, comfortable seating and also charging tools, a water dispenser, and everything to comfort people. It would be 20 square meters. So the it was determined. So I made it 20 square meters. 8 to 12 people would fit there. The projection hall, as the professor mentioned, it would be for 50 people. So the minimum required area for that is 70 square meters, 0.9 up to 1.2 square meters per person, plus circulation space and also a stage. There might be also other staff there working for to make the presentations or the projector, set the projector or to present. And I also added a comment to this table that shows how many people would fit in every area. You can see it there. Then the bathrooms would be for 6 male and 6 female. The area of everyone would be 12 square meters. The total area is 24 square meters. With every bathroom would have 6 stalls and 3 sinks. Then the roof access and lookout, we are not sure about that because we don't know how much of the area we should use from the roof. I think we would get to a result after working on some sketches or after working on 3D. We're not sure about that. Then the staff parking, which was just for 2 cars, 12.5 square meters per car, with totally is 25 square meters. But when we add some space for driving area for car to move, it would be 32 square meters. Then we go to the private area, which is administrative zone, main office for director. Previously was 20 square meters, but I decreased it to 12 square meters because a desk and a chair, even 2 guest chairs would fit there, and also a bookshelf. I think it's enough. Open cubicles for 3 assistants and secretaries, also researcher. I add 4 square meters per person, with a chair would fit, a chair and a desk would fit there, and also 1 guest in every cubicles. Workroom and meeting for staff, plus storage. This area is 30 square meters. I didn't brought any changes here. They can do their administrative duties, meeting, research, and also there might be workstations and beside the meeting table, because it's a huge area for a visitor center. Then the waiting area, people would wait there, print their staff, not people, the staff of the administrative zone would do their processing their data, store some documents, print some documents, and it's 50 square meters. Then the bathrooms, is one private shared bathroom would have 2 to 3 stalls, and sinks. It's 6 square meters. Then it comes the bubble diagram that Mariam John would explain that.
In the name of Allah, who is the most more and for Muhammad, peace be upon him. Hello and greeting. Thank you all for being here today. This is Mariam Maki Ahmadzai, and the purpose of today's seminar is to present bubble diagram. And I start from the beginning, information or registration desk. We have some important zones like public reception, cultural education zone, staff zone, visitor services, and relaxation part. And from the beginning, the information registration desk is a very strong connection with the relaxation area and with the hall, because when coming to this area, we want to relax, to be relaxed. And also there's a lot of another relations between the information registration desk and also self-help information. And from the information area, we can go to souvenir shop. I mean, we if we want to go to the cafe or restaurant, we go to souvenir shop, or for buying some things. And also we can go to the restroom or roof access from the hall, and there is a way for the orientation room or classes to the small library, because we if we want to research or know about some things about researching or another, we can using from the library. And also we can go from the library to the relaxation area. And there is a way to the main office from the relax part. But if we come from the staff parking, if we can from staff parking to the hall, we can go to the workroom or meeting for staff for the relaxing area. And also someone, if they come from the relax part to the waiting area, they can using both of the main office and also workroom. And for the staff or main office, we have another bathroom in this part. I mean, in all, we have some important zone: public reception, cultural education parts, staff, visitor service, and relaxation area. Yeah, this is the staff part, and that's it.
Thank you, Mariam John. We go to
Yes. First, I added numbers to the public zone. to make it easy to show the zones. First, number one is information registration. This would be near the entrance, and it's a really public area. Then here it comes. The number two is dark blue color, self-help information area. Then it might be the souvenir shop next to the entrance and easy to access. The fourth number is temporary public storage locker for people just after registration or having information, they can put their things there. The number five is refreshment bar and storage. It would have a view to the indoor garden. As you see, I placed this all this masses this areas as a U shape because I want to provide privacy. And the two sides of our site, there is a street and also a river, so we wanted to make a U shape just to make a garden, and it's like very similar to Afghanistan architecture. The number four is I said that then it comes the private zone, the administrative zone. We place it here just because it's near the street. We don't want our other places like lecture hall or classrooms to be in this crowded area. The number 10 is bathrooms. No, the number 10 should be here should be the lecture hall. I don't know. I did a mistake with it's the number 9 projection or lecture hall would be there. Here when I wrote number 10, it's number 9. The hall or projection lecture hall should be there. It's a very not noisy area. It's a comfy area. Then the number 7 is orientation room or class. The number 6 is library, which is very in comfortable area, and the number 11 are the roof access and lookout, and also the bathrooms and the storage area. And there are some dots that shows the 12 number 12, which is the roof access and lookout. It would be located at the second floor. That's what all I did. And also there are some arrows, dotted arrows shows people can walk there, have access of people. And also the red arrow shows the vehicles going there. The blue area is the river beside our site. And the right point, there is Bagh-E-Babur. That's all I could do for this week.
Thank you, Sarajan. This is going on because thanks. And your effort, I really appreciate what you have done. You have come from a very raw material into something tangible. This is a wonderful presentation. Of course, there are a few areas to be improved, but I let the rest of the faculty make their comments. And this is really, I'm very happy that what you guys have done. Anybody else would like to make a comment about this?
Well, نجیم جان توبا جان شما
پیشتر slide پیشترش که حالا بزیر and what's above that, the detail about the square footage and the calculation, these are very, very in depth and it's very helpful. And I know it requires a lot of time, but to me it was very direct and directional, and it's good. It's done very well. And also I really admire her courage to do the sketches, freehand sketch, and freehand sketch and color. You see how different it makes in a presentation to see Daryoi Kabul and also the direction of traffic and these colors. I see a lot of improvement from the previous semester to this semester, and I appreciate your time and your effort. It's wonderful. Bravo.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Bale, Ustad Mehdi, first of all, I'm really impressed with the progress that your class is making. And I really commend you for organizing the programs and leading the classroom into a very fast and proper way to accomplish their design phases. And it really, really second the students, their presentation at this stage, I think in week 3 of the class, and I think comparing to last semesters, a lot of good things is happening, and the students are going to the right direction for the final design of this project, which is very interesting. Has a lot of aspects, historical aspects, social, cultural, and architectural aspects. Thank you very much. I don't know if I should say that I will propose to the Board of Faculties that this semester, not only I will propose, but I don't know exactly what will happen to get approval. Beside at the end of the semester, I would say that beside issuing certificates to the students, I will consider the faculties to also consider giving awards to the students. Whether these awards would be in what format, what shape, or what, we will decide on that one, because I know the students are working hard and they really deserve to have something at the end of it. So I'm really impressed with the progress that Ustad Mehdi is making in the class. Thank you.
Thanks. Merengue John?
جان با همه چون دیگه مسائل استادای عزیز گفتن توبا جان گفتن و نجیم جان گفتن I'm not going to go into the praise of the girls, but I'm very proud of all of you for being here and for doing what you're doing. I'm going to get to the گفتیم meat and potatoes of the issue. شما مثلا پروپوز کردن پروژهتون باغ بابوری that triangular form. Case study گرفتن a visitor center, great, but it had nothing to do with your site. Your site is a very specific site in shape. It can be incredibly purposeful, the things that you do there, or it could be completely, you can redirect the traffic from Bagh-E-Babur to somewhere else. I mean, what you decide to do there is very important. It's great. All the programming and the square foot meters and everything is all commendable. But what I'm looking at right now, the screen, اقدر چیزایی که شما پروپوز کردن که the British Museum Visitor Center, could you fit into this site? Number one, perhaps you can, I don't know, but I want to know if you have thought of that. Number two, your garden or اینایتان که the case studyتون gap means that in there was no pictures. We tried to picture them in our heads, but it's very difficult. So for future reference, please make sure you have photos of what you're explaining. But and we're listening at the same time, pictures will speak a lot faster. And all what I want to know from you guys is, okay, so this site, you want to make a visitor center. But from what I'm seeing, are you trying to serve as a direction to get people to go to the park or to not go to the park or to make them sit and relax there? I don't get that whole concept first. Okay, what are you trying to do with that shape? You have a large program, so how are you going to do it? That's I know that you have a U, but I still don't see the relationship between Bagh-E-Babur and the site and the traffic in the street. I don't know. I may be I may be slow. I don't know, but I'm not getting it yet. what is your purpose? What do you want to do with that site? What's the intention? To get people to the Bagh or to not?
Yeah. Meringue John, I think your comment is very critical to what's happening next, because right now, what we're missing, despite of the fact that they have done amazing work with try to organize, it's still a bit fractured, but the nerve of the project, which is the spatial programming and massing, is where the opportunities happen. And I have said this to students from the day one, their biggest and most critical aspect is how do you connect your site, your project to Bagh-E-Babur? And that is not what's happening. However, I love what Sarah has done. She has opened the conversation, basically. She did this little sketch, which is wonderful. It provides some questions to be imposed and worked on. The one thing that I highly suggest to these girls, I know that they're creating a center for visiting, but how do you connect that to where are you going to visit? Would that be a possibility to say, okay, I'm going to get out of my skin and try to look at how to organize the environment around this visit center to make it work? The one thing occurred to me when she presented this, you have the river, you have the road, you have Bagh-E-Babur, and you have the site. How do you connect them? The one thing that came to me was this little area here is really the magnet. Perhaps she could say bravely that I want to come make people go across, regardless whether there's a bridge or not. I am proposing to have a bridge across to bring these people as well and engage them with Bagh-E-Babur. Then say, how now I connect this to Bagh-E-Babur because you cross the road. That was my initial writing. That how do you connect it? Is it a bridge? Is it a tunnel? Or is it a big sidewalk that with big traffic light says that people are coming in from all direction to this plaza, and from there they go across, and that's acceptable too. Just on the surface, could be above and below. However, there's something else in here that she has to really, they have to get further. One, that what is this remaining site now? This is defined. This triangle is defined, which I kind of like. It's a kind of controlled interior garden. What it does also, it defines that if this becomes a plaza, this becomes a public garden, then this can become a main entrance to the more secure, more private garden. And from there, people go to different places that they want to go. So that's a possibility. So I love to see how they're going to take this to the next level. But it is absolutely critical that how does this little visitor center can force the environment to change. It would mean environment is all this. How they can change this environment to make it work for people to engage themselves from the visitor center to the Bagh-E-Babur. So that's my comment. Anyone else? Any students would like to make a comment?
The group is کسی درس بخوانم امروز استاد مهدی ولی دخترایی که پروژه کار میکنن تمام پروژه کارهایش تقسیم میکنن به هر بخش بر نفر تقسیم میکنم. در پروگرام های کامپیوتر کار میکنم ولی من پروگرام های کامپیوتر یاد ندارم، نمیتونم که کار کنم. به این خاطر میخوایم که فقط در درس ها آنلاین شم و درس ها رو گوش کنم تا که این مشکل حل میشه و پروگرام های کامپیوتر یاد میگیرم. بعد از اون میخوایم که پروژه کار کنم اگه اجازه شما استاد محترم باشه. تشکر بسیار.
حتما همیشه باید به گوش بده، گپ بزن، بسیار مهم است. Okay, so we go to the next assignment.
سرتر ما در نظر در یک منطقه پر ازدحام شهر کابل موقعیت داره نزدیک باغ بابر که در تقاطع دو محور شمال و جنوب و شرق و غرب می باشد. ما سنپد یا مسیر آفتاب در اینجا مورد بررسی قرار دادیم. می بینیم که بیشترین آفتاب بیشتر در بخش جنوبی ساحه می باشد در طول روز و بخش شمال و شمال غرب در طول روز نور کافی برخوردار نمی باشد. که ممکن است که در صبح زود سایه ایجاد کنه، ولی در بخش‌های جنوبی و شرقی نور کافی برخوردار می باشد. قسمی که ما در ساحه تحلیل سنپرش مسیر آفتاب بررسی کردیم و اینجا در تصویر ما نشان دادیم، همچنان با دیاگرامش که دیاگرام اورینتیشن آفتاب مورد بررسی قرار میده که در فصل تابستان و فصل زمستان می باشد. ما بررسی قرار دادیم در فصل تابستان در ماه جون بیشترین آفتاب دارا می باشد که در طول روز 14 ساعت و 27 دقیقه می باشد که آفتاب از زاویه 60 درجه پیروی میکنه و در فصل زمستان زاویه آفتاب به 120 درجه میرسه که در فصل زمستان در ماه دسامبر مورد بررسی قرار دادیم که دیلایت یا بیشترین روز که در آفتاب می داشته باشه 9 ساعت و 54 دقیقه می باشد که البته کمترین دیلایت می باشد در فصل زمستان در ماه دسامبر و در فصل تابستان در ماه جون آفتاب در ساعت 5 و 10 دقیقه AM طلوع میکنه و در ساعت 19 و 38 PM غروب آفتاب می باشه که در طول روز 14 ساعت و 27 دقیقه آفتاب می داشته باشه و در فصل زمستان در ماه دسامبر ما سنبته یا مسیر آفتاب مورد بررسی قرار دادیم که دیلایتش 9 ساعت و 54 دقیقه می باشه و روز آفتاب که طلوع میکنه ساعت 7:19 AM می باشه و غروبش به 17 و 13 دقیقه پی می باشه که ما مسیر آفتاب به شکل دایره های زرد نشان دادیم که هم در فصل تابستان در اینجا به فصل تابستان ماه جون می باشه و در اینجا مسیر آفتاب ما به فصل زمستان در ماه دسامبر به این شکل نشان دادیم که آفتاب از این طرف به این طرف طلوعش هم قسم با غروبش به اون طرف می باشه. تشکر.
Niloufar Jan, when you show your this diagram, you have to really relate it to your project. What is the چی مهم است چرا این نشان میدی به ما و این مسئله آفتاب که گفتی از کجا میبره و در کجا میشینه چطوری how does this influence your thinking? What is the relationship of this to the project? You didn't say anything.
وقتی که ما مسیر آفتاب بررسی میکنیم منظورش این است که ما اتاق‌ها یا مکان‌های خود به شکل درستش جاگذاری کنیم که کدام اماکن بیشتر به نور آفتاب ضرورت می داشته باشه.
Okay, all right. Okay, who's next?
استاد قسمت‌های بعدیش بیارین ما تشریح میکنم. البته کوثر جان قسمت مسنگ و بلدیاگرام قرار بود تشریح کنه. 1 ساعت قبل از جلسه بر ما پیام کرد که یکی از اعضای خانوادهشان برش مشکل ایجاد شده. امیدوارم خداوند مشکلشان حل کنه. من فقط در چند لحظه که وقت داشتم به بلدیاگرام ترتیب کردم. فکر میکنم اسلایدهای پایین است استاد. 12 هم نیست، پوینتر برین یک. اینا رو هم که تشریح کرده بود سحر جان. یعنی به بلدیاگرام ما در چند لحظه اخیر جور کردم نمیفهم که چقدر درست است یا نه. یک تشریح کوتاهی را میتونم استاد. خود به بلدیاگرام ما شامل 5 زون است که از زون A شروع میشه و به زون E ختم میشه. در زون A ما فضای یعنی اولین جایی که سایت موضوع شروع میشه شامل نقطه تماس است که بازدید کنندگان میان از اینجا دیدن میکنن و در ورودی قرار داره و در دسترس مردم است. او را یک ارتباط دادیم همراه زون B به خاطر از اینکه نیاز به یک سکوت نسبی داره، تهویهش مناسب است، فضای نیمه خصوصی داره و بیشتر به خاطر یادگیری و آرامش مساعد است. و زون C ما که شامل خدمات و تحصیلات عمومی است، این ما یک ارتباط دادیم همراه سلاید اسم گم شد همراه زون B بابتی که این فضا از نظر عملکردی یک پشتیبان خوب بود که میتونست در اطرافش یا در اطراف خود فضای عمومی را یک پوشش خوب برش بده. قسمت زون دی ما فضای اداری است که نیاز به خلوت بودن داشت، یعنی این فضا باید یک فضای آرامتری باشه چون قسمت اداری است. جدا بودن از فضای عمومی ایره در نظر گرفتیم و از اون خاطر ارتباطش دادیم و در سمت خلوت‌تر سایت قرار داره. زون ایمام که فضای عبور با داشته باشند، تامین تهویه طبیعی شود و می گردشگرا را یک هدایت کنه به سمت زونای دیگه. من نمیفهمم که در این مدت اینقدر وقت کم درستی را بررسی کردم یا نه. امیدوارستم که این هفته ما را ببخشین به خاطر از اینکه یکی از اعضای گروپ ما نتونستم کارایش رو تکمیل کنم. ما یک پرزنتیشن ناتکمیل به شما ارائه کردیم. البته مسنگ ما نیست و بخش پروگرامینگ ما کمک مشکل داره. امیدوارستم که این را به بزرگیتان ببخشین. تشکر.
تشکر یلدا جان. I appreciate your hard work, despite of the fact that there are some problems in Kabul with your group. There's just one thing I want to make sure. Who is in your group, Yelda? It's you, Sahar, Kausar, and Hasina, right? But then in your list, you're having Nilofar. When did she come in your group?
ما در لیست گروپ ما هر هفته که یک شاگردا کار میکنن نامش اضافه میکنیم. دو هفته ما سحر کار کردیم فقط نام ما بود. این هفته نیلوفر هم کار کرد، از اون خاطر نامش اضافه کردیم. هفته بعد که کوثر هم کار کنه باز 4 نفر پوره کارایشان هم میندازیم. یعنی ما نمیفهمیم که فقط نام شاگردا باشه اما کارشان نباشه. کارشان هم که بود باز ما نامشان در لیست اضافه میکنیم. 4 نفر است. حسینا نیستم.
Yelda Jan. Okay. Yelda Jan, I just want to make sure when we establish these groups, I understand they can change. Either they stay, they contribute to the program or to the program development, or they're not, but they're coming in as just an observer. And that's okay, because it makes our progress really hard. So if those students are in your group, Nilofari, Yelda, yourself, and Sahar, I assume that you're going to continue this to the next level, and the same group is going to stay with you. Otherwise, it's going to become a hodgepodge of ideas and disconnected ideas. I'm sorry to say that. But regardless, thank you for your hard work. And I really like your idea of bringing this into zones, dividing this into zones, and made an attempt to create a bubble diagram. I want to ask you and your group, if you don't mind, for next class, to just show your program and your bubble diagram and your massing. Just focus on those 3 issues so we can understand that what the design is going to, the result of that, to become the result of that. Is that okay?
بله استاد. بسیار زیاد
Okay.
تشکر.
Okay.
فهمیدم.
Anybody else would like to make a comments from the faculty?
I have one thing to actually add. ما میفهمم دخترها بسیار زحمت میکشن کار میکنن درست، اما میخوایم بفهمن یک چیزی بسیار مهمه که مثلا ما تا حالی از هیچ کدام از این گروپ یک کانسپت یا یک ایدیا نگرفتیم تا حالی که بگوید ما اینمی تراینگل اینی کار امروز میخوایم بکنیم و we are going to tell you how we're going to do it. We just want to know the idea. You want this area to be open to Bagh-E-Babur or a gateway to Bagh-E-Babur, information center, visitor center, that's fine. But how can you use that triangle to your advantage in design? In me, I haven't seen yet. I see bubble diagrams, I see a huge program, but I'm not sure how you guys come to that. I even see sun study and analysis. If that isn't important to your idea or intention, why are we wasting time on that?
I think you have a great point, Merengijan, and I hope these students listen to it on all groups. And that's why I went to ask about the issue or the reason for this effort to create a whole page on the sun direction. What's the relationship of that to the site? What does that give you? Does it give any clue in terms of the location? I know she said perhaps this will help them in terms of the location of different rooms, but that's very general. But there's absolutely no indication of how the site is related to the rest of the bigger picture of the
Right.
Bagh-E-Babur, about the road, about the river. And I made this comment to the previous presentation, C2, that there at least that shows some possibilities that they should think. As a designer, as an architect, I think you girls have to not to be stuck just on the site, but see what are the potential possibilities from surrounding area around your site.
Jak ci zobaczą w من ملاحظة وقت که when I saw the site analysis sun study automatically ما بفكر ما as a designer as an architect بمتشجعش اینو میخواین یک sign design کنن که direction سنة control کنن within that sign so at any time of the day the sun would reflect in Bagh-E-Babur is there. That's what I was thinking. But وقت it continued on, it was like there was no relationship. So your brain has to go to places. You need to really think what you can do. The sky is the limit. Don't be so restricted.
Yeah, I think what they're missing is that they're so stuck with this sun diagram, which is fine because it's a fact. And this is what I say, it's a fact. It doesn't change. But what does that fact do to you? How does it influence your project? The project orientation, the project entrance to the site, the project exit from the site to Bagh-E-Babur, sorry. How does that work? I mean, they go through this analysis, but people are going to say, "So what? What's the point of it? I can do that myself." But it has to be some relationship. I marked up the river, I marked up the road, and I'm going to put a big X in here. And they have to really make an effort to see how these elements are influencing each other in terms of planning, especially when it comes to planning, in terms of orientation of the building of this visitor center. And I think it becomes incumbent upon each student to look at it as a group and as an individual, start questioning and start assuming certain things. Because they all know, and they said it nicely, both groups, that it's a challenging site. We know that. But what is your intention to access it, to exit it, to connect it or disconnect it? I mean, they didn't say anything about this area behind the site. What is that? Because I'm still trying to figure out what's that site. What is it possible to engage that site as part of it? I don't know.
Or another way of looking at this, like, do we need a connection to Bagh-E-Babur? Do we need a visitor center to Bagh-E-Babur? Do people not know enough about Bagh-E-Babur? How can we use that triangle to do all that? It doesn't need to be a visitor center. We don't need to let people relax there. You guys don't know about design, how restaurants and these are designed, the music that plays, it's all psychological. You guys have to understand design in many different ways. So either you want to use this spot to draw people to go to Bagh-E-Babur, or can it be as kind of like a wave of LED screens that gives you kind of like a basic information about Bagh-E-Babur, and it takes you straight to the path of Bagh-E-Babur. I mean, it doesn't need to be a building. Designs, I mean, I don't know. I'm sorry, Mehdi John, this is your class. I'm thinking maybe design something that would get people to go straight to Bagh-E-Babur.
Well, you know what? What you just said really sparked something else in my mind. You mentioned a word, maybe it's not connected, has nothing to do with the actual Bagh-E-Babur. Maybe you don't physically go to Bagh-E-Babur. Maybe the students should decide, say, okay, if people want to come and go to Bagh-E-Babur outside of this visitor center is one issue. But the
Mm.
visitor center is another issue that you get educated. They keep talking about education, about cultural issues. Maybe it's a place that the people come in, visit the place, sit along the river, perhaps. Maybe if they want to go to Bagh-E-Babur and be brave to cross the road, they can do that. There will be a traffic light, but they don't discuss these issues. And I'm fine with any issues that they want to decide. There's nothing wrong with that. But they have to really make, as you mentioned, that make a decision and stand on it, because that will give them a direction of how to design this place.
Right.
Sorry, Najim John and Tuba John, we were hogging the discussion.
No, you have two good elements. One is the Bagh-E-Babur, the other is the Daryai Kabul. Let's use both of them to our advantages. And, I'm not sure how the Daryai Kabul, how much water has these days, but just think about it like it's flowing, it's full of water. And at the other side is a garden. So I'm thinking to use those two elements, and the broad outside, the view of Kabul, use those as our advantages to incorporate with our design.
تشکر.
Mm.
اجازه است استاد میدی ما
بفرمایید جانم.
بازم کمک بازم بسیار خوش هستم، بسیار از کارهایی که شاگردا کرده بسیار قناعت کننده، یعنی satisfactory است. و it looks like the lessons they learned from the last semester concerning, site analysis, topographic studies, geography, programming. I think they have learned a lot from last semester or from previous studies that they have done, and they have prepared a very good analysis of site and program. I know both groups presented, there's a lot of information that they have gathered about a visitor center for places like Bagh-E-Babur or similar to that. I saw some case studies were done, buildings or places outside of Afghanistan and other countries that could relate, and I looked at the programs that they prepared, kind of has similarities to the programs that other places, other countries have in their visitor centers. I have been to a lot of visitor centers in India, the Taj Mahal and the Manore Qutb, the Bagh-E Lodi. They all have visitor centers. Unfortunately, in Afghanistan, this culture of places to visit and go and entertain and learn and educate, it's not much. There's, a Kabul museum. Only a few people go there once a day. There is the zoo across from this river. A lot of people go to the zoo in Kabul Zoo. A lot of children, families take their children to that. The students just go there and see what is the visitor center at the Kabul Zoo look like. What is it that people need to do? How to get tickets and wait or buy something from the stores. So find out similarities that we have locally in Afghanistan. Not necessarily, following exactly the programs of other visitor centers that's around the world. See what you can do, like the site Ustad Mehdi has pointed out, has a lot of other issues to resolve. The river, the traffic, the crossing, the street, and the question that Ustad Mirangiz brought up: do we really need a center, or do we need something else there? So that could affect your programming and your even the the solar studies that you have. What is the sun going to do for a visitor centers? It's a place that people go there during the daytime. Nighttime, I think there is nothing there. So what would be the sun, the use of the sun for the rooms? So take a look deeply into that and see how the Afghan culture and tradition and habits of Afghans, when they go to a center, what do they like to do most, and how they want to go into the Bagh-E-Babur and be. Well, we're at week 2 or 3 of the study, and it looks like there's a lot of progress has made, and I'm really, really happy with the students' work. And I think Ustad Mehdi is pointing out, where is the concept? I did see one student's work that draws some rooms along that triangular space that could initiate, how the programs that they have developed can relate to each other, and from there, the concept design can start. So maybe next week or the next presentation will include some concept designs.
Yeah. I think what's really wonderful, I'm glad that they're at the point that their brains start questioning issues beyond the site, beyond the design itself. What are the incredible forces on the site in Kabul, in the immediate area? We're talking about the river. We're also talking about these sort of cellular housing or whatever they are. I don't know what they are. They should start questioning. If this road comes in, is it possible to connect the road as part of environmental study to help the site to be organized? Or could the site become a generator of an idea to organize outside of the site, the roads, people walking, the sidewalks? Afghans love the idea of gardens. It's part of our culture. We enjoy. It's also in our human genes that we always enjoy flowers, trees, greeneries. We like outdoor spaces. And I really like to see these girls start thinking about this and be bold about it. Don't have a fear. There's nothing wrong with asking questions. There's not such a thing as a bad question or wrong question. As soon as you start questioning and start sketching and start questioning issues about your project outside of project, start questioning about the forces that create energy to help to organize your own project. And I think that's what they should really do. Hopefully next class they will have some ideas to show that. And that's what we're interested.
I have one more thing to add, actually. Perhaps, مثلا case study, with ببینن situation ها که اینی جو عوض اینی جو traffic است اینی جو historic site است we're gonna want to project site then. Like we have a few here in Los Angeles and Orange County, they completely cut off traffic from all sides of those roads. Barricade kalan, it's only walking for people, and they love it. People love Third and Promenade in Santa Monica. They love it. It's a place to gather. It's a place to people show things, people sing, people play. I mean, it's incredible. And thank goodness that you don't have to worry about cars going back and forth. I don't know. I'm throwing ideas. I don't know. You think about it. You can
Anyway,
yeah.
The other thing I'd like to add, Ustad Mehdi, to the students is to look at the Bagh-E-Babur and find out what is it there that people go to visit.
True.
What is the purpose? First of all, it's a beautiful garden, as you said. I've seen families just go there and walk during the springtime, especially when the flowers bloom and the trees are green. Families like to walk and sit there. There is the grave of Babur, which is a very historical place. But I don't think people go there for ziyarat. People don't go to visit the Babur's grave. They go to see, I mean, the tourists most likely, outsiders go to see the grave of the Babur because he's a very popular historical figure. The other thing, there is a house, pool, swimming pool.
Right.
The youth, the youth and the young, they go, especially boys, to swim. It's a dangerous pool too. I think I've heard stories that people got drowned and lost their
Really?
life. Yeah, it's a very deep. It's a very deep, large pool, about 6-7 meters deep. There are some historical buildings, architecturally significant. I don't know if those are open to the public or not. When Wasi Najimi was in charge, he took me around those. It's kind of a special visitor's permit to go and see those rooms. Is that a museum there? Are they going to make a museum there? I don't know. So there are. I mean, when I think, there's the garden is the most people like to go and walk and enjoy the garden, the flowers, the swimming pool, the grave of Babur. Not only Babur, I think there are several other members of the Babur family buried there. His sisters, daughters, some other cousins. And then the historical buildings that they renovated architecturally. So those are the main points of interest in the Babur.
Yeah.
So,
You know what I would like the students to do for the next class? To come back and look at the site and look outside the site to see what are the issues there could influence their thinking in terms of positioning their building, because it's a big site and they have to really start studying the outside forces, the road. And as Merengue John said, that yeah, they don't have to say, okay, people come in here, they have to go to the garden. Yeah, they might cross the road and walk across, and hopefully there will be a traffic light. But that is the one solution. How about other solutions, about other forces that plays to form this building on the site, to locate it where it should go in this triangular space? And then from there, using the program to sort of massaging this idea and say, then use the orientation in terms of the light, the sun diagram. Say what spaces should be subjected to the sunlight and what spaces should be away from the sunlight. And I think that is the thing that they have to start really thinking about very critically as a group and as an individual. And I also hope, and this is what I'm hoping from these two groups and whoever is going to join them, is that they look at issues cohesively rather than individually, but not talking about it and together and come up with these ideas to make it a group effort rather than individual. I say this and you say that, and I say this, you say that. It becomes very fractured. It becomes very disconnected discussion. But what I love about these two projects, there's so much promise in each one of them because it opens questions. Questions suggest ideas. Ideas become tangible, becomes a space, becomes a building, becomes some interesting place to go to learn, to study, to enjoy, to communicate, to whatever else that they want to do. Anyway, I think the other two groups did not present their work. And does anybody want to say anything? And any of the students, I don't want you to sit back there and feel embarrassed or anything. You should talk about it now and educate us. Let us know what do you think now before we close the class. Anyone? Yes, Sarah John, go ahead.
Professor, the one thing I wanted to say about connecting this visitor center to Bagh-E-Babur, the only force that can bring people here would be the permission to give the tickets of Bagh-E-Babur here. that would force people to come here and get tickets, and also they would explore the area, and it would be fascinating for them. That will first, this would make them come here. The other thing, to connect the center to Bagh-E-Babur, as I said, tunnels or bridges would be a very critical issue. I'm not sure about that, that we could connect Bagh-E-Babur, but we will discuss in our group about that, inshallah.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Yes, Arjan.
سلام استاد.
بفرما.
سلام خدمت شما، خدمت همه اساتید، دانشجویان محترم. میخواستم تشکر کنم در ابتدا که اینقدر زمان میذارید بی‌مزد بی‌منت، و در مورد صحبت‌هایی که اساتید کردن، من خودم استاد فکر میکنم که این کیس استادیا که مطالعه کردیم خیلی حیاتی بود. چون حالا نمیدونم شما با سیستم آموزشی در افغانستان، در ایران آشنا هستید. ما اینجا یک سیستم آموزشی، من چون خودم تدریس هم کردم برای کودکان بازمانده از تحصیل، ما اینجا یک سیستم آموزشی داریم که اصلا پروژه محور نیست. اصلا کار مثلا پروژه‌ای انجام نمیدید. من بارها مکانهای تاریخی دیدن کردم و نمیدونم خیلی عجیب بود یا بگم خجالت آوره که اصلا نمیدونستم این ویزیتور سنتر چه معنی. یعنی من بارها یک ویزیتور سنتر رفته بودم اما نمیدونستم که این اصلا یک ویزیتور سنتر هست. و بعد از اون که اون کیس استادیا رو مثلا مطالعه کردیم من تازه متوجه شدم که و فکر کردم توی این پروژه ما فقط به این ایده دست یافتیم که میخوایم چیکار بکنیم. من اینو فهمیدم، یعنی فهمیدم که ما میخوایم یه مرکزی بسازیم برای یک آثار تاریخی و اون چیزایی که استاد مهرانگیز گفتن 100% خیلی حیاتیه. من فکر کنم منظورشون این بود که ما آیا ایده‌ای داریم که حالا این مرکز رو چطور وصل کنیم به اون باغ بابر. من فکر میکردم که مثلا یا این موضوع ترافیک رو، و برای من فکر کردم که فکر میکنم باید خب خیلی تخصصی تر وارد بشیم، یعنی یک هفته روی این قضیه کار کنیم. ما فعلا من و یلدا جان ایدمون این بود که ما فعلا فقط اومدیم مثلا بررسی کردیم که چه چیزایی میخوایم، چه مکانهایی میخوایم چی کاری انجام بدیم، کجا قرار بدیم، و بعدش فکر کنم که برای اینکه چطور حالا این مرکز رو وصل کنیم به باغ صحبت کنیم. البته خیلی ایده ها هست، مثلا میشه حتی تونل زد. میبینیم الان آثار معماری سازهایی رو میبینیم مثلا تو کشورهای عربی از تونل استفاده میکنن. حتی دیدیم دوتا کشوری که با هم دشمن بودن از زیر هم تونل زدن. مثلا میشه حالا تونل زد. یا من در کابل دیدم همکاران کار میکنن، مهندس حبیب بود فکر کنم، اونا زیاد پروژه‌ای دارن که زیرزمینی کار میکنن، سازه ها رو مثلا از زیر زمین وصل میکنن. میشه اون بالا رو مثلا بررسی کرد ببینیم از اون طرف میشه راهی پیدا کرد. خب بهترین راه اینه که مستقیما وصل بشه به باغ. من فکر کنم که منظور استاد چنین چیزی بوده. اگه منظورشون چنین چیزی هست، بله این در ذهن ما هم هست، چنین ایده هایی در ذهن ما هم هست، ولی فکر کردیم که شاید این قراره که در مراحل بعدی انجامش بدیم به صورت تخصصی. و حالا اگه مثلا سوال دیگه هست یا مسئله دیگه هست که ما بعد متوجه شدیم، یه چیز دیگه هست که باید ما متوجه بشیم، روشن بشه، ممنون میشم که در میون بذارید.
Tashakkur John and Sarah John. One of the issue that we've been struggling with, that I understand you're at the point now that your project needs to be developed into a sustainable environment. But before you do that, you have to really understand the issues outside the site. Like you can see the color that I put this in red. What opportunities do you have they can provide for you in terms of ideas? This is a class project. It's not that you're going to go to the government and ask them that we're going to do this, and they say no, you can't do this and that. So I personally give you girls the license, the freedom to explore outside of this project. This project becomes a reason or an excuse for you to open up your mind that how from urban perspective, that the road, the river, the houses on the left side, the Bagh-E-Babur, whatever else that exists there can influence your design ideas. This way, and all of a sudden you realize that there are so many opportunities. because the building itself, it's not going to be isolated. That's what we're trying to tell you. The birth of the building that you're designing is the cause of the study that you do outside of the site, how the site is influenced. That's the only way you can come up with a more durable and sustainable building that acts, as we call it, visitor center. That's all. So hopefully next class, both group will have some studies and reasonings and open up questions about issues outside the site. All right. Okay, I guess this is the end of our discussion on this project, the group. I hope everything is fine with girls, and make some notes and study for the next class.
الله روز شب همه خوش.
تشکر استاد مهدی، تشکر استاد
تشکر از خودت جان
و تشکر از شاگردای گرامی که تا وقت شب افغانستان شما بودین با ما. تا هفته آینده.
تشکر از خود شما. ما همیشه مستفید شدیم از کارهای شاگردا. بسیار زیاد دلچسب بود و با یک علاقه‌مندی او را تعقیب میکنن، باعث تشویق ما شده.
این مستر آیفون هست.